I have bought them
All right,
on
here
my
we
own
go.
and been happy
We
with the
are
decision? No.
recording, just so everybody
Uh,
knows.
I was in the middle of saying something.
Well, I just want to let everybody know that we're
Well, you
starting.
could. Well, you could have waited.
What the fuck? Welcome back, everybody.
Breaking news.
Why would we
And
wait for this since we are going over something that Eliza should have already remembered about you and your headphones?
Because I was already saying something.
But when are you sure this wasn't last week when I was ill?
Well, we didn't do anything last week.
Good, because I was kind of upset.
All right, never mind.
Should I stop eating jelly beans? It's probably rude to our subscribers.
Oh yeah.
What if they only if they have misophonia?
So we're here. Let's catch up with everybody. How's everybody doing?
I would say I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
This week has been like, I will say, just a very good week for me mentally.
Oh, I
Awesome.
love that.
I've been
Good.
working hard,
Nice.
not lazy at all.
Good.
For some reason, yeah.
I've been
kind of lethargic for a couple months, but now I'm like doing well.
Now
I
you're
think it's
getting
'cause the
into it.
weather's cold.
Feeling reactivated.
Yeah. Oh, cold.
Yeah.
What is the temperature there? 80?
I think it was like low 70s.
Low 70s. Oh, well, that is kind
It's
of
pretty cold.
That's not cold. That's
Pretty-
a perfect temperature.
My
cold.
where I work, it's like
Wow.
50 degrees.
I can't get my camera right. Leave me alone.
Whoa.
Okay.
Super cold where I work.
Drifting.
It's crooked.
It's me. Right on. Well, good. How about you, Couscous?
I'm good.
What's
I've
the
got
news?
no major complaints. Lil and I had a good classic fall day yesterday.
Oh, lovely.
Nice.
What'd you do?
We just went around, walked around there's this park that is also kind of like a pumpkin patch, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, horrible.
There were pumpkins everywhere.
Why is that
And
horrible?
we went and we looked.
Adorable.
Oh, I thought you said horrible. I was
They
like,
were and the pumpkins were racist.
pumpkin with a bunch of racist
Awful.
pumpkins.
It was terrible.
Damn it! I
They're
can't get. I keep going the wrong direction. Should have been done before we started recording. All right. Aye. You
I'm
went to
hanging in there.
You're choking. Heimlich. Ooh,
You guys see that a 9-year-old saved her classmate from choking because she'd watched a YouTube video about the Heimlich maneuver and knew what to do in the class.
Nice.
Good.
That's pretty
Good
sick.
for her. I can't remember her name, but I'm really proud of her. So whoever you are out there, good job.
Good job, young 9-year-old.
I'm hanging in there. So I was pretty sick over the weekend, then went to a conference in Phoenix for 3 days while I was still very sick, and then returned and was still sick and caught up on all the work I was doing. So what I would say is I saw some opportunities for improvement, which is practicing taking rest when I really need to rest, and not working when I really am so sick that I shouldn't be working. That was difficult for me this week. And then I had a bit of a mental breakdown while I was in Scottsdale because Pete, you all know he just survived his tooth cleaning, which of course he was going to survive it. I was just nervous that he's going under anesthesia, and he's just getting a little bit older. And so he tore his ACL. So he'll need
Pete did?
Yeah, so he'll need surgery again.
God.
He's hobbling around. It's like Tippy 2.0. He's not putting any weight on his back leg. And then they said, so that will be fun. I think it's going to be about $5,000 for that surgery. So if any of our subscribers want to just donate $1 or $2.
Go fund
They
me.
said that the other thing, because it's going to take about 3 weeks for him to get his surgery. And then what they said to be aware of is that more likely than not, because of the stress on his other one, he'll tear his other one.
Oh man.
So, just to prepare for that. But you know what? He doesn't seem to know that he's injured really. He's just moved on with his life as a 3-legged butt. So he's doing great. But so I'm really tired, but I'm starting to feel better.
Oh, good.
I still have a cough, so I'm really sorry about it. But I'm really happy to see you all now.
Well, good.
Yay. I'm happy
Yeah.
to see you too, Eliza.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, you guys know I was at a conference over the
Mhm.
week. That was interesting. But yeah, other than that, nothing really new.
How was your?
Didn't get arrested.
Didn't get arrested. No, I'm on 2 weeks of keto and 1 week of intermittent fasting, and so yeah.
Your skin looks really good.
Yeah,
it
you
does
know
look
what?
really good actually.
You know what?
Good for you.
I noticed I went to the grocery store today, and I know you guys probably don't do it, but when you back up, you're supposed to turn all the way around, right? Put your hand on the back seat so you're backing up. Used to be my back, my spine
Uh-huh.
hurt
My
like-
spine.
hurt like hell when I did that.
Really?
Today I
Mhm.
did it and I didn't feel a thing. It was like
Wow. Like you think it's inflammation?
it
Or
is
like-
inflammation. I think it's my joints feel better, my skin feels better, everything. And
Nice.
Oh,
it's- yeah,
that's
Wait, that's a
fantastic.
huge dub.
yeah. And
My-
so of course with the
And
with the ketos, and I'm not drinking anything. And that's been 2 weeks, and I think that's helping with some of the inflammation. I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah, 100%.
and all the bacon taco shells you can eat.
Mm-hmm. Yum.
Oh, bacon
can't
see
taco
those?
shells.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Oh my
sure
God,
you
that
can
sounds
put butter in your
amazing.
coffee too.
Mm-hmm.
I had a bulletproof this morning, so I'm not
Love
going
that.
crazy on the intermittent fasting thing. Doing 12 hours. So
I
have
heard
a-
I heard intermittent fasting isn't actually that effective.
Did you watch that video?
It doesn't
heard
make you
counter
lose more weight faster, in my experience. But it is good for you though. Like I think there is some benefits to it.
Well, I felt better.
At least I like it.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I guess it's been like very incremental the
Mhm.
changes. And like I said, today, I mean, I haven't driven all week, right? Because I was at this
Mhm.
conference,
Right.
and then today it was the first time I actually noticed, like, oh my god,
Driving with your
I mean,
feet.
That's
my
That's how
back,
good you felt.
my back feels a lot better. It's so weird. Anyway,
That's amazing.
Right.
That's awesome. I think it's cool too, like how everybody can react to things differently. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like when I eat paleo, I do feel my best versus when I was being like a pescatarian. And I don't think I will say I don't think I was the healthiest pescatarian either, because I think I more like leaned on like I was working in California Pizza Kitchen at the time. They're just
oh,
I'm sure I ate a lot of pizza, but I do feel like everybody's body is so different. And then like men versus women also, it's so interesting to see. Like, have you guys listened to Huberman Labs at all? I think you'd like that podcast if you haven't ever heard of it.
who?
No.
Huberman Labs. I'll send a link to the group chat later.
Yeah, please do.
Oh,
Mhm.
Eliza,
What?
now that they decriminalized mushrooms in Colorado, you gonna start cultivating?
Is it legal for me to grow them?
Yeah, you can grow them and share them.
Really?
You cannot
Hmm.
sell them.
Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
if I can grow them and share them, then I absolutely will be growing some if it's legal.
Guys, I've already said, but I mean, I'm really getting freaked out about this whole fentanyl thing, about where it shows up. It shows up in things that you don't even, people think that they're taking a recreational drug, and it's all fentanyl or the
Test
laced
your
with fentanyl.
drugs.
What's that?
It is
said
scary.
Test your drugs.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's just
Mhm.
crazy. Yeah.
Gotta
Anyway,
test
I'm not
them.
going to.
No, but you're right, Dad. That is so scary.
I'm not going to.
I
They,
don't we don't do cocaine or anything like that. Like, but yeah, you're right. For anybody who does, I think it's very important to
Yeah,
and
no
if they
kidding. It's
test it
just-
online and stuff like that. It's just very important to understand how to test it and to make sure you're being safe
Yeah.
because you can, as the movie we watched, like drugs can ruin your life.
They
Well,
can.
let-
They can
let-
they
indeed.
can't.
Let that be.
can.
That's a nice little segue into
Mhm.
the beginning of our.
Should we enter the void?
Yeah.
Dun
Let's,
it, dun, 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 dun,
let's enter the
dun, dun,
void.
dun, dun. Get a
So,
bunch of flashing lights.
whose recommendation was this?
Atticus.
Atticus.
It was
good-
mine.
good.
It was mine technically, but we
all-
I think all three of us except
Three
for
out of
Eliza wanted to
three out of
watch it.
4 recommended.
I've been wanting to watch this for a while.
Highly recommended.
Go ahead.
Atticus,
and
ain't
give-
nothing like getting shot in the heart and then getting to watch your sister have sex 3 times. Am I right,
It's-
Atticus?
yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
That makes me feel really weird just
That was
as
the
your
joke.
sister.
That was the
I
joke
just
that I
Yeah.
was gonna hold back on. and then you ruined it. You ruined it, huh, Eliza? By being mean to me off the rip.
I was like, who are you pointing at?
I was mean to you.
Yeah, I don't remember what you said, but
Anyway,
Well, it was if knowing Eliza, it was probably racist.
so
it was.
Hey,
what
whoa,
it was.
whoa, whoa.
Couscous,
She's
go
using
ahead,
her white privilege.
go ahead and give us a little
Again.
synopsis of the movie.
Okay.
Okay, so a bunch of flashing lights ensue, with a bunch of fonts and everything like that. Watching that part of the movie, I was just like, oh my god, like the design overhead, like how much of this did they outsource? Like,
And you're
and
referring
then
to the credits.
The
The
opening credits.
credits. The credits are bananas.
Yeah.
I love the
They're-
credits.
They're crazy.
Me
I like
too.
them too. I love them.
I actually really
uh,
like this whole movie.
I like the whole movie too. So the movie starts with Oscar,
De La Renta.
De La Renta, having a conversation, or watching an airplane, having a conversation with his sister Linda. Linda goes to work. Oscar makes a beeline for the old DMT,
Mhm.
hanging out, hanging,
Like, immediately.
spending the
Waiting for
night
her to
with,
leave all fucking day.
Yep, spending the night with old death metal Travis, and just ready to get weird. And so he smokes the DMT. We get a very accurate visualization of what being high on DMT looks like, all like the weird like kind of visuals and all the weird audio stuff that happens. And then he gets a call from his good friend Victor.
I thought his name was Alex.
No,
No,
Victor.
it's Victor.
That's
Alex
Oh,
comes
sorry,
over.
Sorry,
and
sorry,
is like-
sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Alex is the French one.
Did you even watch the
Victor
movie?
is maybe also French. I don't know.
No, I
No,
don't think.
Victor's
I think he's
just
American, right?
I think they were Australians.
Australian.
Oh, Aussies.
No, he could have been
yeah.
Australian or English. even.
Classic.
Hmm.
Could have been. Could have been British.
been.
Who knows?
Anyway, it's
And
not really
anyway.
important.
Did you know that the
Anyway, it is
Australian
important.
accent is apparently a drunk British accent?
What?
Yeah.
That's where it came from?
It's gonna be good.
I guess.
We gotta get tighter. Come on. This movie is, if this is the pace of the synopsis of the
The
longest
movie is
movie
so
ever.
long.
Anyway,
Anyway. So yeah. Victor calls. He needs his ecstasy or some shit. Who knows? Some pills.
Drogas.
I'm
Oscar's friend-
about to take this over.
Oscar's friend Alex comes over, and then
Okay,
they
that's enough.
proceed-
That's enough.
Not a
That's
scene-
enough.
not
That's
a
enough.
shot
That's
for
enough.
shot description of the movie.
Then they talk
Okay.
Well, that's what happened.
about
But
his
anyway,
sister.
Some stuff happens, and one of them dies, I guess, and
Also,
then
Be specific.
all this other crazy stuff happens. So, and then the movie's over. So,
Perfect.
uh,
Really good.
Somebody's
And
taking
movie
some
progress-
DMT before the
Did everyone
podcast.
watch? I'm pretty sure we expect everyone to watch the movie, right?
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
So
I'm so sorry.
that's okay.
So some stuff happens,
So
and it's interesting.
so here I'm going to start it with this. Let's ask the fundamental question. Is the movie him tripping on DMT, or is he really dead?
He's really
He's
dead.
really dead.
He's really dead.
No.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yes, he's really dead.
He's really dead.
He didn't.
Yes.
He didn't smoke salvia.
Yeah.
He's
and-
reborn at the end of
correct,
the movie.
at the
Did you watch it?
Because he
Did
died.
you watch it? Did you watch it with subtitles on?
Yes.
No. Yes, I
Yes,
did. Sorry, I
yeah.
forgot.
Eliza doesn't know.
I did. They
She's
were
just-
yellow.
There
Yes.
you go. Oh,
I
damn,
watched
she
it with
does know.
subtitles on. The one thing is that a DMT only lasts for 6 minutes. This movie was 2 hours long.
But Dad,
Okay,
it's
okay,
six
but
to
he literally
12.
also
You
says
weren't
that it feels like an eternity.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Simultaneously,
I was gonna
in that
hopefully-
exact same scene,
I was hoping
says-
nobody would remember that.
6 minutes, but it feels like an eternity.
I guess is that what you're? I mean, I've never done DMT, so I don't know.
I have an
You should
But
try
do
it. It's,
do you,
it's awesome.
Do you go through a past life regression kind of thing? And
It's
relive
never
your-
did.
It's not a light switch of like, yes, this thing happens in everyone's linear experience with the drug. It's like I have heard of that happening for other
God, Lola just
people.
scared the
Oh, it's
shit
Lola.
Hi, Lola.
Hello.
Lola.
Casey, hi baby.
Oh,
Aw,
PDA.
aw.
It's Lola.
It's Lola.
She's having a great time.
Oh, she
Okay.
looks like it with a cute little
Yeah.
sweater.
Yeah, she's got a little
Nice.
sweater on.
She's putting you in your cage. Remember to lock
Uh-huh.
them in.
I don't
Lock
know
'em
how to.
up.
We
I
don't
don't know
want
how to
to
use
Get it
that
straight.
thing,
out.
and it's too tall for me to climb over.
I know.
But yeah,
Okay,
I don't
I've got-
know. I mean, it can be very dissociative for sure, and the hallucinations that you have on it, depending on how much you smoke and how you're smoking it or consuming it for that matter, can be a very different experience, like
So
it's go ahead, Dad.
I did like what Alex said about the LSD. He's like, if you can overcome your fears, you can go anywhere you want. But the problem is you get too freaked out by what's happening and you don't know where you're going. You just let the trip take over. But I thought that was a very interesting.
Whenever I've done
Hey,
LSD, I found that the more I try to control where I'm going or what I'm doing, the worse.
Oh,
the
the worse
trip
it
is.
gets. Yeah,
gotta go with
forget
the
it.
flow.
It's like,
You gotta
you
ride the
just, like,
wave.
release
Right
it.
the way.
100%.
Totally. But if you're like, okay, like this is just, you know what, I'm here for it. Like whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Like, let's go. Like, what is
Yeah.
it? But so that's what's interesting when he said that you can go wherever you want to if you can overcome your fear. It's like, can you though? Because like I feel like you can't necessarily control your trip.
You can go to
It's
a White Castle
I
in
guess
Las
sure.
Vegas and be surrounded by a bunch of people that you have no idea who they are,
Oh
and you
god.
can order a big, giant, what's it called, burger box for you and your homies.
Is that
can
like
do
Harold
that on
and
LSD.
Kumar, or is that
It would
something
be it
No,
would be
that's just
weirder
our
if you did know
drugs.
everybody in the White Castle. If you went in there and
Oh
you
my
knew
Yeah, that would
every
be
person
better.
in there.
Oh my
God.
god.
That
Back
would
to
be
the
super
movie.
cool.
It's my second grade teacher.
I knew. So yeah,
So you guys, Luke, well, Eliza, you haven't seen it before. So what was
Yeah.
you've got things to say.
Yeah,
Oh
I have a
yeah.
lot of things to say. Really liked it. I thought it was I think it was the most immersive, like artistic experience of any of the movies that we've watched so far. And I thought it was
I agree.
really beautiful and really uncomfortable and like gritty and sad. I thought it was a really sad movie.
it's
Yeah.
super sad.
And I thought it was also kind of a frustrating movie to watch for a few reasons. And I also felt like it was so long. Like
It's pretty
I
It's
long.
super long.
And
Yeah,
I
it's
do
pretty
feel
long.
like sometimes in moments like, and I feel like maybe that was part of the process of what you were supposed to experience is like feeling really uncomfortable and like wanting to be done and being like, okay, I get it. I want to be done. But the thing was like Oscar wasn't learning his lessons. He kept making his
Correct.
mistakes. And like, so it's like, I think part of that frustration or like that antsiness was part of the point. I felt very, very uncomfortable with the sexual tension between Oscar and his sister.
Oh, it's so weird.
It
That's like
made me feel really weird.
Yeah.
like this.
Not
I
good.
think this would be a perfect movie if you took that out of it. Like if Linda was just like someone that was really close to him as a child, like that
no,
would
I think it like has to be a
like
sister.
yeah.
I think it has
Yeah.
to be a sister. But I didn't like how into his sister's nipples he seemed to be. That I just and we didn't have a naked house. I don't think as an adult you've and I think what's
I've never
appropriate is
seen
that
I've
you guys
never
have
seen
no
any
idea
of my
what it is.
siblings naked
And I think that that's nice.
from memory.
I think that that's nice. I think that's a nice, healthy boundary. But then I was also thinking to myself, well, that's just my family. And I'm assuming that every other family is the way that my family is. And like, so maybe there are just families out there that are naked around each other a little bit more often or kiss each other's ears. Oh God.
No, this was definitely supposed to be like obscure, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like they were dealing with like a bunch of trauma from their childhood and stuff like
Yes,
that. And I feel
trauma
like she
bonded.
was taking that out on him specifically a little bit more.
Yeah. So all in all, and the other thing I would say,
But I think that, Eliza, is also part of the theme you've already talked about, making you uncomfortable throughout the whole thing.
yeah,
So,
and I also
agree.
think that the little girl actress
Oh yeah.
who played Linda as a child was I think it's probably the most magnificent performances I've seen out of a child actor in my entire
yeah.
life. Specifically in the car after the car
I
accident.
don't know how they got her to do that. It's
I don't know,
really,
yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
crazy.
Oh my
They
god.
just
I'm like, to the
they
point
just
where I'm like,
blind.
is she okay to this day? Like, is she
is
all
she
Yeah.
okay to this?
But
They
you know
haven't
what
They
I
just
mean? Like that. Oh
they
my
just
god.
blindfolded her and didn't tell her what she was gonna wake up in, and then just like pulled like the blindfold off
Could
and
be
just
something
like
like that. I mean, could be.
filmed her
Bloody face.
like
Yeah.
regular reaction. Like it was so messed up.
It was so messed up and that was so horrible. And it
Yeah.
like it just happened in a flash. The only other thing that I will say is that I really feel like I would have a different understanding or appreciation for the movie if I'd read the Tibetan Book of the Dead. I have not read it. But it seems like that's important. And it
Yes.
seems like there's things in that book, like as I was starting to research a bit about it or read a bit about it to be like, what did I just watch? And like, because you know, when you watch a movie and you're like, I know I missed most of the point because there's like symbolism and stuff like what was going on that I must have missed. And what
Yeah.
I gathered is you could have a way more powerful experience watching the movie if you've read the Tibetan Book of the Dead before.
Correct. That it would add, but it doesn't detract. But basically, what Gaspar Noé is trying to present is it's guided by what happens in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. You know, you die, and you know, in Buddhism, with the monks that are lamas and that they know are reborn, they have they try to make a transition for them, unlike how Oscar died. But then after that, it's supposed to make the next steps easier. And the concept at the end, when he's flying around the Love Hotel, he's
Yeah.
looking for, because in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, once you're in this Bardo area of kind of like, what do they call it, purgatory for Catholics, you're in the suspension, this middle ground. You get to a point to where you're like, okay, I'm ready to come back. And then you literally start looking for a place to go. Your soul looks for a place to go, and that's just so.
At
I'd
that
look
point,
I'd look for koalas having
well, it didn't seem like he saw any animals as an option. I think he was only
just
seeing
not
people-
creative enough.
And also, it's like we know, like, did we need to see that really? Because we know he's just going to go inside his sister at this point. Like,
I found that unexpected. I really did. When the first time I saw it, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't think that was. Well, first of all, I didn't think that she and Alex were going to get together.
oh,
Yeah, dude, that was a big shocker for me
Yeah.
too.
I was
No
like,
shock.
this woman is just. I mean, she's very traumatized. I think, and sex is a way that she feels safe.
I agree.
how I felt.
I 100%. That is a very
So I knew she was going to have sex with Alex, like as soon as she picked him up. But also, did they even get in a car crash? Like that was confusing.
Yeah, that was no. They didn't get in a car crash. That was just
Because she's like, watch out.
him.
And it was the car crash of his parents.
Yeah.
And also, I just have a lot of questions. So interrupt me too if I'm
No, go ahead.
talking too much. But did she OD or not? Like, what is she doing taking all these pills and then we just don't talk about it? And
Yeah,
then also, if she just, sorry, I'm just going to say one more thing. If she had an abortion, how did she just get pregnant? This feels like it just happened within 24 hours.
I
So,
don't
like,
think
the
so. I don't.
timeline
Well,
is
if you
really
looked at the
confusing.
abortion, that was definitely not like a recently pregnant woman. That
No,
was like
that's a very
that was
developed baby.
that was a very developed one. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know how much time is passing, you know, in between.
I
I
think
never.
it's supposed to be like 6 or 8 weeks. Like it's supposed to be a
really?
pretty like it's supposed to be almost 2 months between when Oscar dies and then when she meets up with Alex.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. I mean,
Supposed to be a pretty long time.
Oh,
those kinds of details, I didn't. You know, for me, he's always, you know, nitpicking all this stuff. I didn't worry about that. I didn't detract from that. That didn't detract the story from me.
Very
Luke, what's your
uncharacteristic of you.
give us your take on the movie now that Eliza's coughing?
I really thoroughly enjoy the movie. I think it touches on death in a very interesting way, and I honestly really like thinking about death a lot because it's a lot of what keeps me motivated. And I like to do like a logical progression of like how life exists sometimes and what happens after.
Mhm.
And this pretty much follows what I believe, kind of. And so I like it a lot. And I think the visual, just watching this movie is so cool. It's
Yeah.
just cool watching this movie. And it gets even cooler like later down, like in the second half of the movie, I think. I think a
Mhm.
lot of what they do with the city of Tokyo is just super cool.
So those are all models, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So
It's
he's
all
not
Alex's roommate. Like it's all his art.
right, but it's bigger than that because they're going like the camera's going for well,
Oh yeah, that was my
It's
question because like if
it's
this was 2009, they wouldn't have been able to fly a droid.
no,
it's a transition. It's
or
a
a drone.
transition, or either.
Oh, a
So
drone.
it's there. It's really hard to see, and I've
It's
I've
not the
done like a
drone you're
lot
looking
of
for, or the
so
drone you
there. It's a like when they're going through all of the city stuff. It's a
Luke.
transition
Luke.
between the model that's on the ground, and then there's like a globe model that is behind them when they're talking
Interesting.
in
Yeah.
that room the first time. It's really,
Oh
it's
yeah,
very.
yeah.
I never would have caught it, but I read it in this thing that like is just like, what's about? Like, what is
Oh.
that? What's Enter the Void about?
I have to say, the one model to live action part that totally blew me away was towards the end because you see he's Oscar's flying over the city and you're going then it gets into like it starts following Linda's taxi, which is
Yeah.
clearly a model. There's no question about it. It comes
Oh.
around the corner and then all of a sudden the camera comes in from the front of the car and all of a sudden it's not a model anymore. Alex is stepping into the car and then it goes through the windshield and you see them in the back. That was, I mean, how he transitions between, I'm assuming there's got to be some CGI in there and then some modeling because it was just there's
Flawless.
some,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's really
so
cool how he does it.
you're right.
Yeah.
Flawless. Let me just,
It's pretty awesome.
Oh,
But it's like you don't even realize, like, because I'm like, is this a model?
yeah.
Like some things look like miniatures, but then some people were walking around and I was like, oh no, that must be real.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mhm.
And then like it's all happening so fast that like you don't even really
Right.
get with it. The thing is, like, gosh, I don't know. I didn't enjoy that the first thing we did as he was dead was like go watch his sister have sex. I felt really weird about it, if I'm being so honest with you. But I guess also if you're just a soul, like maybe it's humans that are making that weird. And when you're a soul, maybe that doesn't feel weird.
okay.
I mean,
What
I
if?
think
Or
Go
maybe
ahead. Go ahead, Luke.
his sister have sex.
I was gonna say, what if we're all just the same part
Mm.
of a larger consciousness, and therefore
I
you're
think
just
we
watching
are.
yourself. You're just watching yourself have sex
with
Yeah.
yourself.
with yourself.
But
What's
what
weird about that?
felt weird
about
to
that?
me was that
I do
I
that every night.
was watching it as somebody who was like a brother is watching his sister get.
Yeah, no, that's weird. I
Right.
agree.
So I
but
don't think
I
I
took-
don't think that he's like I don't think that his intention was like, all right, I'm dead. Check. Gonna go watch Linda like get
No,
banged.
it's just
check.
what she happened to
Thank
be
you.
doing. It just
Yeah,
happened to be
100%.
doing at the time. Happened
Well,
to be
It
doing.
is still weird though.
Yeah, but that's the soul was looking for safe places, and the safe places for him were Alex and Linda, and he didn't care what was going on. He needed to get to them because
Yeah.
the soul is jacked up according to the Tibetan Book of the Dead. If you die fast like that, you're jacked when you get into the bardo, when you get into the other side. And so he's just looking for something to help him make sense of what's going on. And if that's where he has to go, that's where he has to go. Yeah.
Well, and imagine like dying while you're tripping, like even while you
True.
still have like your
That's crazy. Yeah.
it's like even before you've actually died, like I think I would probably say to myself, like, hey, this has turned into a really bad trip, but like, you're fine. And then all of a sudden you'd be like, wait,
So to argue your side of the
but
the
I'm
story, Atticus, he does say that as he's dying.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Am I
Because
tripping?
I'm.
Am I?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. So it was like, is it? I don't know. He says something to that
He says.
effect.
He says this is just a trip. This is just a trip or something like that. Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden it's like, yeah, it would be, that would be, I really wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to die like impaired.
Yeah.
Maybe drunk a
So
little if it was
I'm
gonna hurt.
on the opposite side of that. I feel like if I like knew I was gonna die, I'd be like, hey, can you give me like 30, 40, maybe a couple hours so I can trip while I do this?
See
Because I
that?
feel like I could process death a little bit better. Because like my like normal brain would be just afraid.
I think having tried psychedelics once in your life makes death less scary
I agree.
overall. Because for me personally, when I tried mushrooms for the first time, or anytime that I've tried LSD or mushrooms again, I feel like, oh my God, there's so much more going on than what I'm experiencing in my physical form in a normal day-to-day life. And it's like, it's safe and it's beautiful and it's great. It's like when my human mind is trying to take over things, that things are scary. When I release that, it's nothing. Like it feels like that united consciousness and beauty and like just peace, kind of. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so having done that and knowing, and like, I feel like it opens me up to thinking that when I die, like it's all safe, it's all good. Like I'm energy. I'm experiencing, like I'm on vacation right now in my
I'm
human
hot
form.
gas.
Like this is just an experiment. This is just an experience to like be a human and feel human things for a while. That's just a blip.
Yeah.
I agree.
And so for me, when I think about dying, I'm fine. I want to be fully humanly present to experience what it feels like to die as a human being.
So
And
there's
then, I don't know.
so there's a concept in Buddhism. I don't know if I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's called an enlightenment. That's what happened to the Buddha under the Bodhi tree. He meditated, and then all of a sudden, and the way it's described is that all of a sudden you understand everything. There are no questions. You connect with everything around you to an extent that the only way to describe it is kind of like a really positive LSD trip or something like that. And so your fear goes away. There's nothing to be afraid of because you have you understand everything down to the to the atomic level, kind of, so to speak.
Yeah.
And so I get where you're coming from there.
Yeah, I want to understand more about Luke though, like wanting to be tripping or like on acid or LSD.
I just think it'd be
Does he
really
just
cool.
feel safe that way, or like?
I just think it'd be really cool. I think it'd be really cool to come face to face with dying, knowing you're gonna do it while your like brain is running it like turbo, you know?
But then
Yeah.
how do you, just like Alex, how do you, not Alex, but Oscar, then how do you know if you're dead?
'Cause
That
You
would be-
get you they shoot a little morphine into you, and then you know.
Hmm.
Well, I think
Or they hold up a sign. You could put up the little banner at the bottom of the video.
I think
You're
Yeah.
dead.
that would
You're
be
dead.
kind of like the cool part,
Done.
right? Is that like when I like eventually, I don't know, die.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, so let me tell you
go
this.
forward.
You may not have heard this before, but you know the Manson family? Evidently, there was one guy
What?
who wanted to die in the middle of an orgasm. And so he's having sex. And of course, he's laying down and the girl's on top. And then, they're doing the deed and she's got a fucking pistol in her hand.
Jeez.
And then right as she feels like he's at his moment, bam, shoots him right in the head.
I wonder. This is so
That's
gross,
weird.
but like, I wonder if he like. That's gotta be a weird feeling to have someone inside of you and have them die.
Ew, yeah, no.
Do you know what I mean? I know that's
And
gross.
don't you like piss and shit yourself when you die?
Maybe, I don't
some-
know.
A lot of
But
people
It's
do
just
position
wild.
themselves.
ask
Like
Squeaky
that-
Fromm.
One of my favorite
That's why I
one of
make
my
sure as soon as I have
favorite
to poo.
interviews is with like somebody's interviewing Lady Gaga, and they're like, if you could do anything on earth and you know you wouldn't get hurt and you'd be like and you'd survive it, what would you do? And she'd be like, oh, die. Absolutely. And I'm like, I kind of get that. Like, that would be cool to be like the one experience you want to have. Like, yeah, I would want to die. Like, wouldn't that be interesting? Because then you would know. But then it's like, what if there really isn't? What if we're just worm food? Then that starts to get really
Die,
scary.
and,
I don't think so. I think
I don't
as soon as you know you're 100% worm food, you're like, oh well, nothing matters except making
Okay.
sure I don't like stay in a cell forever.
Hey, so
Yeah.
talking about what matters, I'm sure I got this component of the movie before, but I think it really hit home with me this time was and talk about uncomfortable.
Hmm.
You see Oscar's life as to what happened before and what shaped him to
Yes.
be who he was.
Very
But
much
then
like
you
defending your life, kind of.
but then you also see how he impacted all those people around him. You know, how Linda
Yeah.
tries to kill herself, how he's like sleeping with Victor's mother, and
Yeah, that was crazy.
and
That's so fucked up.
that whole dynamic
Yeah.
in that
Oscar's a dick.
yeah, and I was telling Lisa, I was like, it's kind of Tony Soprano-ish. You kind of are rooting for him in a way, but then you realize, actually, he's kind of an asshole. He's like selling drugs, and the gals in the
strippers.
what's that?
Excuse me, to the sex workers.
Yeah, and then that one girl that he meets with the glasses in the bar, and he's like getting her all high and having sex with her and stuff like that, and it's just like, man, he's really not a good guy, but.
No, he's not. And like, I will never forgive him for watching. He made a pact with Linda that they would stay together. And as she's getting dragged into the elevator, screaming to him, like, you promise, like, don't let me go. And you got it, Dad? You're muted, but anyways.
Made the pact.
But he made the pact, but I'll never forgive him for like not saying a single thing.
Well, what's he
Not
gonna
knowing
say? The
stuff.
grandparents are.
Yeah, always blame 7-year-olds for
Yeah.
not knowing how
Oh,
to
yeah.
deal with
Way to go,
hard
Eliza.
traumatic moments.
I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming him for them being separated. I'm saying that it would have broken my heart if, like, Luke, you or Atticus promised that we wouldn't get separated, and somebody's dragging me away, and you don't have anything to say to me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm screaming for you.
Yeah.
Like, you're just gonna walk quietly and watch them take me. Like, fuck you. I don't know.
I would have stabbed one of them right in the
Thank
foot.
you.
Hey,
And that's
speaking
what
of
I would expect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
war crimes would have been
Speaking of
happening.
stabbing, haven't these kids ever heard
Not
of
a war crime.
stick pins? What was
Oh
up with
my-
the whole cutting the?
I screamed. I like was so obnoxious. I apologize to Chuck afterwards, but the way that I felt like he was cutting her finger down to the fucking bone.
All right.
Like,
I was like, is that necessary? Ow.
Like, geez,
I feel
dude,
like he
relax.
ripped his own finger and then he was like dragging hers. And
Yeah.
then it really did bother me. And I know she had so much trauma, but this grown up Linda just like acting, I think she's clearly reverting to the time she felt safe. And this time she felt safe must have been before this horrific car accident where she lost her parents. But I need her to stop sucking her thumb. I don't care if it has to do with like her little blood pact or being a baby inside or like whatever it is. You're a grown ass fucking woman. Put on some clothes and get your thumb out of your
She
mouth.
still had the teddy bear.
And
She did still
I
have the
think
teddy
that
bear,
was so weird. That was very weird.
So, Couscous, you said that they were in that they were in love with each other, or just that Linda was in love with Oscar?
Mutual.
No, I think they were in love with each other. I think that was my read on it.
Because
Mutual.
there's something I know. Once again, it's been a while since I watched it, but
You didn't watch it again?
I did.
Oh, okay.
But this time when I watch it, I kind of maybe don't remember him sniffing her underwear.
That was
Yeah.
really.
And I
only
was like,
small.
what? Maybe
It gets weird.
Couscous-
He's weird.
yeah.
Maybe Couscous is right. No wonder he's
They
getting all
definitely have
pissed
a very
off.
bad relationship with each other for siblings.
But they're trauma bonded. I can see
Yeah.
how it would happen.
They are very much so
Ab-
trauma bonded.
I
Absolutely.
can see how you would get really, really confused about your feelings for
Eh.
your sibling. And they seem to be separated for like they went from being children, they got separated and I think evolved to like into adults and then found each other again.
So remember that when they were sitting in the park and they were talking and it was a beautiful kind of pretty scene, happy as sunset or whatever.
Yeah, Linda had her thumb in her fucking mouth.
Where was that? Was that in
That was
Japan?
it was in Japan.
Oh,
No.
I couldn't.
No, because I think the back of Oscar's head looked younger than the one that we're seeing most of the time.
No, but I think you're right.
I'm curious.
I think that is Japan because
Oh,
remember when he said when she comes back when she gets to Japan, and there's a part where she says, "Do I look grown up? Do I look
oh yeah.
like a
Yeah.
woman now?" So it must have been a long time since they've been
Yeah,
apart.
since they've seen each other, huh?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's
You know what?
fishing
Way
for
to piece that
compliments.
together.
What?
I was just saying, way to piece that together, Pops.
Yeah, so
Yeah, 'cause yeah.
that was Japan. So
I'm pretty sure that's the day after she gets there.
It makes
And like
sense
when they're
too, because she has that yellow dress, the same
Yeah.
one that she's wearing the day he dies.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, were they living in that apartment together?
yeah.
that tiny
So
apartment.
they're sleeping in the same bed, or is
No,
it-
they're not
Wait,
slaves.
wait. Were
They
they,
had
were
two
they?
tiny little beds.
I thought they were staying in a different apartment.
No,
No.
they were living in
Who's-
that
They're staying in
apartment.
the same
that?
apartment together.
Who's that other lady?
What other lady?
They were
the one who
in,
read the pregnancy test?
yeah.
That's Alex's room or his buddy.
No,
That
no,
was her.
no,
Yes.
no. The
Yes.
woman who reads the pregnancy test for Linda is
Yes.
Alex's buddy.
No, that's Alex's buddy's girlfriend.
What is he doing over at Oscar's, or what is she doing at Oscar's house?
She's not at Oscar's house. They're at his house.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, look at it again. He's in the scene.
When Linda finds out she's pregnant, Alex
Yes.
is there. No,
No,
he's on
not
the board.
Alex. Not Alex. Alex's friend, the artist, the guy who built the model.
All right, we'll have to go back and revisit it. But why is Oscar's copy of the Tibetan Book of the Dead back at Alex's roommate's house? And we've never seen Linda there before.
But she knows them. She called
Does
them.
she?
They were on the phone.
Atticus, you want to chime in?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I don't.
It's just
care.
minutia.
It's so
It's that-
far in
yeah,
the scene. It's so far in the movie. I'm pretty sure Dad is right. To where that's like I can't remember what that dude's name is. That dude gives the 50 Alex's ID and shit.
Oh
You
my
know,
God.
he's got no loyalty. He's like,
I
here.
wouldn't either. Like,
Yeah, fuck
it's
him,
true.
bro.
Well, that Bruno
That
guy
point-
too, man. He's all like, "Yeah, I got rid of all my stuff. I didn't know what they're gonna say." That dude was a jacked up character.
So that's where, in something I was reading, there's different lights that represent different things in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And that when Oscar is observing Bruno has a green light,
Oh,
which
really?
is associated with like animals and like being just
Mm.
lowly. Like it's like a low frequency, a low vibration, not like
Sure.
Interesting.
maybe not evil necessarily, but just like stupid.
Subprimal.
Just like
Subprimal.
stupid, like really not advanced. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? Like
That makes
Yeah.
perfect sense. Yeah.
and so I thought that was, and that's why I was like, gosh, I wish I'd read that book because I think there were a lot of things like that. And also that the reason, because I was like, why again, we're in this freaking strip club, my goodness. And sex, money, power, is that what it
Yeah.
was called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which are interesting because all qualities that only humans care about. Doesn't really matter when you go outside of yourself, right? But the stage that she's dancing on has 6 points to it, and the shape of it is actually one of the symbols of the soul
Hmm.
within the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Nice.
Wow. There you
So
go.
I'm like,
That's deep.
clearly there's so much stuff I missed.
Yeah, there's a lot, probably way more imagery than I thought. I went
Sure.
to look at like what Gaspar Noé, his other projects were, and I found that one of my favorite artists used him for a music video.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
what music video?
it was called Applesauce by Animal Collective.
Apples. Okay,
Applesauce.
I'll look that
Oh
up.
yeah, that makes sense.
Um,
I
so
know, I agree. Makes
I've s-
sense, right?
I've seen a lot of his movies. The most recent one that I saw was called Vortex, which was once again the way he makes films is
Crazy.
mind-boggling. But what it is this old couple, and it tells their life, and it first it's side by it's like a traditional movie, but
Mhm.
then look at our screens, right?
Yeah.
And then take two of them away. So
Okay.
just look at me and Luke, and that's how the movie turns, but it's showing both people's lives at the same time.
Yeah, this
And
guy's very creative. I mean, he's brilliant.
and some of the shots that he does, he's filming two movies at the same time, but it's really fascinating and phenomenal. That movie
Yeah.
is a little slow. I mean, not a little, it's very slow. But the filmmaking and the storytelling of what was excellent. Oh, and then I started watching one called Climax, which is about it's kind of a horror movie, and it's about these dancers that get tricked into going to this um, venue, and then somehow, and I didn't
They have
watch,
to
I didn't get through
dance
the
for their lives.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, it's like, yeah, it gets a little crazy, but I didn't watch the whole thing because it was French subtitles, and I was like, not today.
Would
But
you guys classify this movie Enter the Void as a horror movie?
no,
No.
no. I
I
saw
would
one
call it
review.
high stakes mystery drama.
It's categorized as a horror movie.
Really?
Horror? What's
I think.
No way.
I saw somebody categorize it as a science fiction movie. It's like, you idiot! It's not a science fiction movie.
Oh, sorry, drama fantasy. I don't know where I
This
got that.
this could never happen.
Yeah, it definitely. Yeah, it feels like a drama fantasy.
No, nobody could ever die. Sorry. The science fiction thing is very funny.
Oh, it's hilarious.
God.
Why would you even think that? But
I also when Victor goes to the sister and is trying to apologize, I was pretty frustrated with her because it's not Victor's fault that Oscar got killed. And then I got mad at Victor because it's not her fault at all that Oscar got killed. It's Oscar's fucking fault that he got killed.
yeah,
Yeah, he was kind of a goober for
and why would
saying,
you
"I have
shout,
a
I
gun."
have a gun. That's just of course, the white man. I just can't.
So I thought I remembered a
He was also
scene
just
in the
super high.
movie where Victor had gotten in trouble with the police before he set up Oscar,
I think that's implied.
but it doesn't.
Yeah,
Oh, well, I don't. When I watched it this time, I didn't see any implication in the storyline that showed that. So
no. So what happens? And again, this is not super obvious. Is what happens is Victor goes in there to try, and he contacts the police to try and get Oscar in trouble, and then the police piece together pretty easily that Victor's also a part of the drug ring, and so they're trying to get the name of They're trying to get Bruno's name.
Sure.
And all of his stuff, but then there's a clear scene where Oscar gets the money from Victor initially, where he does not tell him who Bruno is or where he's at or any of that stuff. He doesn't know. Victor really doesn't know, and so he is getting Oscar to come down specifically. Like if he had just dropped a dime on Bruno and knew who he was, they probably would have just left Oscar alone and gone after him later, like while he was at his apartment or something like that. But since he didn't know, they wanted him to get Oscar down there so they could go grab him and then interrogate both of them.
I do think, though, that he was seeking revenge for Oscar fucking his mom.
yeah, absolutely.
That's
No,
why
yeah.
that is the catalyst of why he went to go to the cops in the first place.
Got it.
And
Okay.
he thought he could just be like, here's the name, see you later. And then when Oscar wasn't the guy they were looking for, because maybe they made all that brouhaha about Oscar and Bruno looking the same. So Oscar would have
Yes.
fit the description from Bruno, or like would have fit Bruno's description.
Oh, interesting.
And then when Victor was giving them the information, they're like, no, that's not the dude. Like, we know who Oscar is. We would have gone straight to him if we thought he would be able to give us what he wants. We thought it was you. And so now we're going to talk to both you guys.
But hey, there was a scene too when Oscar and Bruno were together, and Bruno specifically says, "Hey, man, I don't want to know who your friend is. You know, don't tell me.
Yeah,
I don't want to know his name. You know." So he's even hypersensitive.
Aware,
to,
yeah.
to
Yeah.
not making that connection in any remote sense of the word. So, yeah, that was all.
One of the things that I thought was really interesting too, just popped into my head at the beginning. Linda doesn't want Oscar hanging out with Alex because she says he's a bad influence. I actually think that Alex is the best influence on Oscar of any of them.
I agree.
Well, he says it over and over again, man. Hey, man, you're turning into a dealer. So I'm not a dealer. Yeah, you are. And he's like, I don't want to go up there when you're doing that thing with Oscar. You know, he's just like didn't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah, I thought
Alex got his head on his shoulders.
Yeah, I mean, like, sure, he's a rascal, but like,
he's like, here, read a fucking book. You know?
Yeah,
totally.
Totally. Like, and so I just want to say that I really like Alex.
Alex is that boy.
Justice for Alex.
Free him.
Free Alex.
Free Alex.
Free
I
Alex.
think he's free. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's probably a very successful painter in New York after the movie.
I hope so.
His paintings are sick. Like any of the time where it's just like a shot of him in front of one of those paintings are all amazing.
They're pretty darn cool.
Really cool.
Overall, like, what do you think the movie was trying to say?
I don't know. I think it's. I mean,
to ask. I guess.
I think it's saying a lot of stuff, right? Like, and I think that there's a lot of layers to the movie, but I think it boils down to just fuck around and find out. Like, that's the overall arching message of this movie. Is like, it's like you reap what you sow. You know, again, we've all seen the graph. The more you fuck around, the more you find out, and so.
The more you fuck around, the more you find out.
Dad, there's a popular internet meme going around, and a meme is a small video or image that has a caption
that
is generously humorous in nature. Or no, a GIF is a subsect of a meme, Dad. And I know that it's moving
GIF?
really.
Peanut
it's
butter.
really. I know
Jiffy.
that it moves really fast. Jiffy.
Well,
Dad would have thought of Peter Pan. He also would have tied an onion to his belt, which is the style of the time. But
you guys remember Dad's wallet chain?
Oh yeah, baby.
I remember Dad's wallet chain.
It's sweet.
That was like such a distinct phase. Like
Dad's
wallet
cool.
chain phase. Like, hell yeah. I was like, who's he gonna become?
You're so hard
And,
back
like,
then. Now look at
So
him.
hard.
Yeah.
Collared
what happened?
shirts in a podcast.
Yeah, we really straightened you out, Dad.
Really
I'll
straight
button
out.
that bitch up. Watch.
Button it up after keto.
We were like,
after
we
keto.
were
I
being
couldn't have
his
done that
Alex.
2 weeks ago.
2
Finally
weeks ago, looked like Brendan Fraser from Whale.
My God.
No,
Okay. Wait a minute. We got to stop because I have to tell you about that fucking having to walk out of that session at the conference. With the fucking
frog guy.
With the double the frog guy. And I don't know why, but the first time I read it, for some reason I thought Couscous said, yeah, I'd have to see him with his neck stuck out. But you said
that is what I said.
No, you said his neck expanded. And
Like the frog, like
yeah, I get it now, but for some reason I was reading neck stuck out like a turtle, and I just lost it for some.
I mean, that'd be hilarious too.
The thing was the way you finished it is like before I'd have to see that before I sign off one way or the other. And that's where I really lost it. And then I read your text as I'm walking out and says, yeah, what'd you say? I think that's fair. But anyway, it was just I mean, it took me a while to compose myself before I could go back in. But
It just
anyway.
like it's funny to me that like you clearly also have ADHD like the rest of us because it's like you can't just sit in your class and like
Oh,
listen to
no,
what
no,
you're
no.
supposed to be listening to in the lectures. You're like, look at this lady. What's happening over here?
Oh yeah.
It's just like so funny to like see yourself and your parents.
Well, I couldn't figure
Yeah,
out
that
that
is
fucking
funny.
that woman. Her camera was so blue. I mean, her screen on her camera was so blue compared to the
Yeah.
screen up front. But
that was
anyway,
weird.
so to me, I guess whatever you say, fuck around, learn around, or whatever.
I don't think anyone said learn around
Oh, fuck around, whatever.
at any juncture.
Okay.
I did. No, I'm kidding. I did it.
I think the movie's trying to say that. I mean, we've had a movie like this before. Like every action that you have has meaning.
Paddington.
Every everything you do has a
Yeah.
bigger there's more at stake than just you.
Yeah, the
Mm.
more you fuck around, the more you find out.
The more
But
you
not only that, but the more I guess to me the message I took away was the impact you have on other people's lives.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I wish I could know what not to be like selfish, but like I obviously am most interested in how I impacted all of your lives and like how you've
Yep.
impacted mine. I'm excited to see that. You know what I mean?
You'll find out.
I'm sure I will. And then I was also thinking, Dad, is it weird? Because I was just thinking, I was like, I wonder which one of us is going to die first. Because we all assume it's Dad, right? Like,
I think it's
I
gonna
mean,
be me.
I
You?
assume that.
Me.
I think it's gonna be me.
well, Luke, especially if you keep like taking a bunch of psychedelics and going
27 club.
Like, no,
Huh?
no, that's not cute. Don't make jokes.
What?
Don't 27 club.
What do you mean?
Don't die at 27 is what I'm saying, please.
51.
I'll try my
Dad,
hardest.
oh my God. Like Dad, you're so far past 51. Like I think
I
we're
know.
like
10 years.
But
But you know,
yeah.
it's funny. The reason I sent you guys that text yesterday, say that, hi, I love you guys all so much. I don't know. I had a weird feeling taking off in that plane yesterday.
You texted
Thought you're
me?
gonna die.
Say that.
Yeah, I did. I really thought that this plane's going to crash.
Dad,
Okay.
I gotta
no
go
problem.
first.
Yeah, I
don't
wasted
think
a
I can
couple
deal
of
with the
pennies in a
trauma of
fountain.
Oh,
Lose
wait.
my
wait.
parents.
Oh, I sure do love you, kids. Oh my God, that you thought. So now whenever you text me these things, I'm gonna think you're thinking you're dying.
Yeah. Well,
And the
not
thing
that I'm-
I texted back was, I just saw the penis tip part of it.
yeah. Thanks, Eliza.
Yo, it's not often where you get to watch a movie and you literally get cummed on.
That's true.
Well,
think
it's not
that's
often
still-
for
I
me,
think-
at least.
I think that's still technically figuratively.
No,
No, they
Right.
literally cummed on the camera.
I
But
Yeah,
don't
but it
not-
doesn't like.
Tell me
But
the
it's not
opposite.
like an immersive experience where you
Oh,
get
I
like
was
a little,
I
like
was
a, like a
fully
li-
immersed.
like a little packet, you know,
I hated
like
that
a little
so much,
packet
you
doesn't
guys.
come with a.
Okay.
I hated it so much. Oh, hi, Lisa.
Lisa,
Bye, everybody. Bye,
Bye.
your hair looks so
Bye
nice.
bye.
You look great.
Luke said your hair looks nice.
Sorry about my coughs. They're
Yeah,
really annoying.
Anyway,
Okay.
I mean, I thumbs up, no doubt about it. 2 thumbs up. I really enjoyed the movie.
I really like this.
It's really good.
I kind of would agree with Eliza to a certain extent that could have cut it down, could have cut 10 minutes out of it,
I think so. I
maybe
think honestly,
15.
I think 25 at least.
25?
A lot of minutes for sure.
I could have cut
There could've
25 out. I could have cut 25 minutes out of that motherfucking movie.
There-
Changing.
There is just like 20. There is probably just 25
Slow
minutes
pans.
of like camera spinning.
Yes,
You know,
get it. We're flying through the city. Okay, like let's
We're
get.
flying through his
let's
bullet hole. We're
go.
Fewer
flying
people-
through her ovary hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the little spermie is trying to get in. Like I just.
Oh, he was working so hard.
Hey, talk about something that looks like a face. How about that stove?
Yeah.
Yeah, could
I
have used
didn't-
that
I
one.
didn't look at that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks like a face.
Which stove are you talking about?
The
There's
stove,
a couple
the
stoves.
scene-
Victor's
s-
mom.
Victor's mom, the scene where they're
Oh, yeah,
they're
okay.
all fighting, and then
then
she's
it's
sitting
just
there
burning?
crying. Yeah, Look
Yeah.
at it again, and you
Honestly,
see it looks like
so
a stove. I mean, it looks like a pig.
y'all say Oscar's
Looks
a
just
bad
like a
guy
stove.
for not Oscar. Oh wait, no, it is Oscar for
Oscar's a bad guy, yeah. And
for
he's a good
banging
guy,
Victor's
too.
mom.
Yep.
No, not just that. For everything.
But think about it. She was going through a hard time, and
Hard
And his
time.
penis was
he-
the only thing.
he
Okay.
brought her
Fix
some
it.
What if
relief
what if okay.
That's
for
the-
some money,
What
so he
plot-
could get his sister over there.
What if
Oh yeah.
you came home and you found out that he had slept with Becky?
I would
She's
be
been
like,
going for a
wow,
long time.
radical, man.
radical.
Really? Because
I
can't
wouldn't.
think of a
So here's the
single
thing. Here's the
friend
thing: is
line
I do not separate. I don't put like cautionary blinders on myself,
Luke.
pretending that like it's not a good thing for someone to get play.
Oh my god.
I'm thinking of my mom having sex all the time. Is what Luke is saying.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
No, we read you loud and clear, bud. You're thinking about it right now.
If
I got
any
it.
of my
Like,
friends slept with dad, I would be livid. Like that.
Why?
person would
You
be
have bad friends?
dead to me.
You have friends that would hurt your father?
maybe.
have
I don't.
friends
I don't
clearly-
have friends that would hurt my mother.
They're all tender lovers, and Luke knows.
All
it.
right. Next.
What I am
Um,
saying is that a betrayal, that's not
That's
the
the
type of
gold mine.
friend I want. Some because they know that that would hurt me. And if they decided to go ahead and do it,
Well, what if they asked you first? What if they were like, "Hey, I'm kind of
then I'd be like, absolutely
your
not.
dad.
If you decide to do that, we are not friends anymore. That is such a. And I was like, things have not worked out for women who have slept with my father. I can tell you that.
Hey.
I didn't want to.
did I ever tell you the short story about the two friends in high school that made a
Oh,
bet
geez.
of having sex with the
You?
other person's sister?
Ew.
And it was like, I know, and it was like this whole thing. I know I can get you to you can get your sister in bed. No, you
That's
can't.
the-
Blah blah blah.
That's just the plot to Me Too Mama Tambien.
Is it?
Like,
Oh,
no.
I don't know.
it's similar.
But yeah,
That was
and in the
fucked up.
end, one of them says, it gets there and then stops, and then the other one doesn't, and then it ruins their friendship and blah 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 blah. Anyway,
Yeah,
Imagine a sex bet ruined a friendship.
guys,
I've heard
that's so
everything.
crazy.
so after rewatching it, I will retract my statements about it being up there with Lawrence of Arabia. I still give it a good 8.5 on the point scale, but
Yeah,
it went down a couple of notches just because it was 25 minutes
too long.
too long. 15.
Lawrence of Arabia is an hour too long.
Lawrence of Arabia is such a snoozer. It is such.
Oh my
I
god!
haven't seen
Oh
Lawrence
my
of
God.
Arabia."
It's okay. So Luke,
Luke,
take a
shut
picture of
up.
melatonin.
Why would you?
Take a picture of melatonin and then just like hit your head with it. Like
Damn.
take a picture of melatonin, right? Like and then
Melatonin, like sleep
Yeah.
and stuff.
yeah, take a picture of the sleepy stuff and then just run all of that, like print the paper out onto some like thick
Okay.
paper and then give yourself paper cuts with that for like
Oh.
2.5 hours.
That's Lawrence of
And that's-
Arabia.
That's Lawrence of Arabia for you.
Would you rather watch Lawrence of Arabia or
Did you buy like a bunch of prop money? Luke,
Butler
stop.
Boy again?
The
Luke,
Winslow
take that out
boy?
of your mouth. The Winslow boy.
Spit that out.
I would rather.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of prop money.
I would rather have.
Is it still in there?
I would rather be like. I would rather be.
All right,
what's
let's move
What's
on.
it called?
Let's move on.
Drawn and quartered than watch the Winslow boy again.
Okay, let's move on.
Like, oh my god,
My
dude.
pick
Like,
for next week is the Winslow boy too.
I won't. Like, I would quit the podcast and then blow up a hospital. Like,
Winslow boy reloaded.
in a video game, I would do that. That's the trick. If you want to keep yourself safe.
All right,
on
are
a
you
podcast.
guys going to give
Only in
a
video.
number score on this?
I
For the
think
Winslow boy? Negative 800 million.
Damn.
Like,
Eight?
is the worst movie I'd ever seen.
an 8 maybe for
Okay.
me.
All
Where's
right, that's
Aquaman?
fair.
I think it got me. I think it was the most interesting and inventive thing I'd seen in a really long time.
I agree. I really like this movie a lot. I give it an 8.
Atticus?
I'll give it an 8.5.
All right.
Okay, so Paddington is still the highest rated.
Yes.
Sorry.
Like 10 out of 10, perfect movie.
How do you hate
not
on
quite.
Paddington though?
There's nothing to say. There's just not.
Whose
There's
pick?
really-
Whose pick is it for next week?
It's Eliza.
Me.
Oh, Eliza. Okay.
Eliza's.
Speaking of Paddington, no, we want to do another Paddington. And I was thinking about picking Babe, but we've all seen Babe, and we
La,
love
la,
Babe.
la.
I love Babe.
Yeah.
Uh,
Babe is so good. Unlike the Winslow boy, which makes me want to
Oh
die.
my gosh. Give it a break.
And vomit blood.
Luke, you've seen.
Dude, look,
Babe.
Dad's physically uncomfortable by how often you're shitting on this movie.
It's just so bad.
Have you seen Babe?
I've seen Babe like 1,000 times, I think.
Like 1,000 times or 1,000.
1,000
gonna
times
pick a movie.
with a margin of error of plus or minus 10.
I'm gonna pick a movie that I've been wanting to see for some time that I've never seen before. I'm
Yes.
picking The Shawshank Redemption.
The Shank?
I have
You've
not
never
seen
seen
that
the
either.
shot. You've never seen it's so good.
I've
Oh
never
man, I'm
seen it.
excited.
So
That
that's
noise
my
is in
pick.
it a lot.
Is it?
Constantly. Morgan Freeman's doing it constantly. He can't stop doing it.
What the hell's going on over there?
Luke, can you do like the thing?
What?
Yeah, nice. Luke
I
can
did
do
it. Did you hear mine?
No.
Can you do this one? Oh shit.
It just sounds like mic feedback. It's
Um,
your mic's too
I
close.
Can
just
you- can-
remember when
Can you do this one? Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Do it.
Oh yeah, nice, Dad.
I
Can you
think
guys
it's
do like
crazy.
the thing where it sounds like water, where you like?
No.
Yeah, Luke can do it. Nice.
I'm the man of many mouth noises.
Your girlfriend's a lucky lady.
Yo,
Um,
God. Agnes, do you remember though? Because we would do lollipop in Mrs. Schumacher's class, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
do it. That was terrible.
not that lollipop, Luke.
Boom,
A different
boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard all the evidence. I submit that this was not a hot-blooded crime of passion. Consider this. A revolver holds 6 bullets, not 8. That means that he fired the gun empty and then stopped to reload.
By the power vested in me by the state of Maine, I hereby order you to serve 2 life sentences back to back, 1 for each of your victims. So be it.
Send you here for life? That's exactly what they take.
I believe in 2 things: discipline
Help me, Dad!
and the Bible. Here you'll receive both.
Andy came to Shawshank Prison in 1947. Why'd you do it?
I didn't, since you asked.
You can sit right here. I must admit, I didn't think much of Andy the first time I laid eyes on him. He had a quiet way about him. A walk and a talk that just wasn't normal around here.
Wow, this is
There are
awesome.
places in the world that aren't made out of stone. There's something inside they can't touch.
What are you talking about?
Hope.
Let me tell you something, my friend. Hope is a dangerous thing.
Damn it, Dufresne, you're putting me behind!
Hope can drive a man insane.
You better be sick or dead in there, I kid you not!
You better get used to that idea. Oh, my holy God.
I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really. Get busy living. Or get busy dying.
Get busy living. Or get busy dying. That's damn right.
It's coming out soon.
Any day now.
Any day.
I'm so excited. I've heard it's really good.
I've heard good things about it too. I've heard some people say it's the best movie ever.
Yeah.
And those some people haven't seen Aquaman.
Oh, of course. Dad,
True.
Dad's muted again,
Your
as
mic
always.
is muted.
It's like a tradition at this point.
I know.
Right?
That's
Sorry.
it
You think I'd learn by now.
No.
I'm not sure I've seen the whole movie from start to finish, like
Interesting.
continuously. I think I've seen little bits and pieces, but definitely don't own a copy on DVD or anything like that. So yeah, it'll be good to watch it.
I'm excited.
I've told you guys how I watch all these kids movies now, Moana and
Yeah.
yeah, 'cause like, oh look,
They
oh, I
give
didn't
us
know that
the-
happened. And the patients are
So
looking at me. What are you talking about, mister? Give me my treatment. Well, I didn't know that she was over there, the big old crab.
Yeah, crack me up.
Anyway, all right, folks. That's it for this week. As
Good
always, like and subscribe and tell your friends and keep an eye out for a GoFundMe page for the huh? You mean
How
this?
do you do this one? Yeah, do it. Luke, can you do it? No, that's one thing.
You talking about this one?
Yeah.
Where I go,
Wait, so what did you just do? You just did. Am I doing it?
Yep.
All
Okay,
right,
here we go,
folks.
here we go.
See you,
That's
Down.
that's
see you
the
next
one.
week.
That's the one.